What is up, everyone? I go by the name Izzy Lucid, and you are tuned into yet another episode of Improve Thyself 101. So grab your books, grab your notes, grab your pens. Today, we talk about breakthroughs. Let's go. So if you're not familiar with what Improve Thyself 101 is, please rewind back to the first episode of the series and get your scoop. Alright, let's get into today's quote. It is a quote from a book called The War of Art. Brilliant book, recommended. I recommended it on my channel before. If you do pick it up, do give me a shout out and let me know what you think of it. Today's gem of wisdom, yes, gem of wisdom. When you decide to chase your dream, the resistance will try everything in its power to stop you. When you're close to your breakthrough, the resistance will throw everything at you all at once in a final attempt to stop you. To see the view, you have to brace the mountain in all its elements. It's always hardest right before you reach the top. Woo! We are preaching today. It's a bit of a chunky quote, so let's take it step by step, right? When you decide to chase your dream, the resistance will try everything in its power to stop you. The resistance, according to this book, is the negative force that throws every challenge you go through at you. Things that it thinks you're not going to survive. When you have this quote in your head, you learn to recognize what is the resistance and what is the sign from the universe or from God or whoever you believe in. When you are close to your breakthrough, the resistance will throw everything at you all at once in a final attempt to stop you. When you're right at the turning point of your life, when you're going after something, the resistance will throw it'll make it dog shit for you. Especially when you're this close to realizing something, or when you're finally hitting that breakthrough and breaking through the ceiling. There's been many a time where the resistance tries to deter me in a very big way, in small ways. Example, people who don't believe in me, people who I thought should be the closest to me, so they should understand my vision, they should understand what I'm trying to do with my life. They should at the very least support me, and I guess that plays on my own expectations and entitlement that I used to have about how life worked. Obviously, I realized you can't expect people to do anything. No one owes you shit, but it's nice for people to cheer you on and shit like that, I take people telling me all along the way, nah, music isn't a job, it doesn't make money in this country, music isn't a viable career, you need financial stability. And most of the people, they were just saying all these things out of love and out of concern, but I still take it as a resistance trying to kind of curb me, because it sees how dedicated I am to this journey, and it just throws these little things at me. And then it started stepping up its game and throwing bigger things at me, right? Since the 13th of April 2019, and I'll talk about that night later in life, when I guess I'm ready. That was another jab at the resistance. And then the end of May that year, I was forced to move away from my entire support structure. Everything that was accessible to me to be able to make my music career work was just stripped from me. And then July happened, some family issues went on, and my dad ended up losing the house we were staying in, and he had to go live with my uncle, and I had to go live on my brother's floor for 3 months, and then I moved in with my grandmother, sharing a room with her. And this is where this whole, when you're close to your breakthrough, the resistance will throw everything at you. When I was so close to breaking through with the CO80 hip hop nights in 2020, January came, I was grinding. February came, I was grinding. I mean, you can go back and you can watch all the CO80 hip hop night vlogs, watch how we were grinding and going for this shit. And just when we were this close to getting what we want, the pandemic happened. And one thing that made it super clear for me, or made it helpful for me to be able to decipher what I need to let go of and what is the resistance, is this quote. It's kind of a work in progress at first, but at some point it goes from habit to second nature. And it says here, to see the view, you have to brace the mountain and all its elements. It's always hardest right before you reach the top. An extraordinary life comes with extraordinary struggles. You gotta be willing to make the climb. And it's not gonna be an easy climb, because like this quote says, you have to brace the mountain and all its elements. when I came up with this Improve Thyself idea, I had this feeling inside of me like, yo, this is a brilliant idea. I've got something good. And I filmed the first few episodes. Now I can edit and upload. Not even a day after doing all of those things, my laptop just tapped out. It was like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm out of here. I'm done with life. There goes my editing. There goes my uploading. There goes my music things. It was literally just the resistance trying to throw a curveball at me and see if I'll fold on the idea. I ended up making a plan. I adapted to the situation. When the resistance throws you that curveball, you gotta learn to adapt quickly. It wasn't always like this where I was like, curveball, adapt, curveball, adapt. 2019, I had this idea, also like a CO80 hip hop night type idea, and everything was rolling. The ball was rolling. We had sponsorships. I had an investor. We only had one thing left to do, and that was like a day's worth of work. And then the next week we were supposed to start, and then the investor got sick. That was the resistance throwing me a curveball to see, are you gonna tap out? Are you gonna fold? I quit. That was on me. I was so close to the breakthrough, and I let the resistance win. When I saw this pattern, I get somewhere good, and then something happens, and then I just move on to the next thing. And then when the CO80 hip hop nights happened, and the pandemic happened, and then I stepped back and I was like, this is just the resistance trying to see if I'll fold. Let me see what I can do during this lockdown to further the CO80 hip hop night. Where did I go wrong in these past few months? How can I make this better so that when it can happen, it pops the fuck off? If you're going somewhere on a road trip and you hit a roadblock or you hit a dead end, you don't say, we tried, we're going back home. You're like, how can we reroute from here? It's the same with life. The resistance throws everything it can at you at any point in time. And you need to be able to learn to realize, what is the resistance? Why is it trying to distract me? And why is it trying to take my focus from this? Oh, I'm sitting on a gem. I'm sitting on something that is going to change the world. If you want to see the top of the mountain, gotta fucking scale that shit, bro. You gotta brace it, and you gotta take all the elements as it comes. Understand this, that when you are dedicated to anything, the resistance is gonna absolutely try everything in its power to take your attention away from it, so that when it comes time for you to meet that blessing at the destination, you're not there. Come hell or high waters, I'm getting this shit done. I'm making this album no matter what happens. I'm going on this tour. No matter what pandemic may delay me, when it comes time, I'm coming for that shit. That's the mindset you have to adopt if you're trying to scale up to greatness. That's how I feel right now. Everything is coming at me at once. But I'm still in front of this camera. I'm still rehearsing for CO80 hip hop nights. Despite what may come, I'm still doing what I have to do, because I know that I can't allow it to slip through my fingers. Call me obsessed. And if you find something that's worth it, something that you can hold on to, you need to learn to decipher what is from the resistance. Hold on for dear fucking life. Don't let that shit go. Don't let it slip through your fingers. It'll test you to see how badly you want the shit. Are you willing to go through whatever the resistance throws at you? Ask yourself that question. Some food for thought. Please do like and subscribe. Let's engage in this topic. What do you think of the resistance? What are some of the things that the resistance has thrown at you to get you to fold on yourself? Let's start a much needed dialogue. Hit the necessary buttons you need to hit, and I'm going to see you next episode on Improve Thyself 101. Let's go, bitch.